right. Sorry about that, everyone. Some technical difficulties going on as we're starting the live stream. Freaking just as I was about to go live, for some odd reason, the Wi-Fi just completely went down at our house. So it was like really like hard for me to like log into, to the YouTube live and all that crazy stuff like StreamYard, and even like logging into like online just overall. So guys, I really apologize for that. I know I was supposed to start the stream like really minutes. I know I'm a few minutes late, but here we are. Here we are, man, for NXT 2.0. That was tonight. Solid show, but obviously one of the main things coming out of tonight's show was, not just Natalya showing up, but we did see the ending that was with Joey Gacy showing up and everything. That was pretty crazy. With him and Braun Breaker, which we will get into later on in the show. But I do appreciate everybody being here. I understand sometimes my internet messes up. Yeah, it happens. I was just about to leave, so you came at the perfect time. We'll thank God for that. Hopefully, the internet doesn't do that again. Because I one of my biggest fears going live or uploading a video in general is the stuff like this where the internet crashes. So hopefully that doesn't happen anymore. So with that being said, let's get into tonight's show. Like I said, this was a solid show. A solid show from NXT 2.0 tonight. Not a bad show, but just solid. We kick things off, man, with the new NXT Tag Team Champions, Pretty Deadly, Kit Wilson and Elton Prince coming out. And, they just talked about making history last week, talking about how they dominated NXT UK. They came here to NXT 2K and they're already dominated because, look, we have the titles. And Grizzled Young Veterans come out and they're like, listen, like, you got lucky last week. You had some success in NXT. Well, the reason why you had some success in NXT while you were down in NXT UK was because we decided to leave. And the only reason why you did not win the titles last week was because the Grizzled Young Vets was not involved. So basically, Grizzled Young Vets wanting to step up to Pretty Deadly and be like, listen up, we want a shot at those titles. Now we do see, obviously, Joe Quinn Wild and Cruz Del Toro going after the Grizzly Young Vets, which leads to a match later on tonight. So obviously both teams wanting that first opportunity to get a shot at the new NXT Tag Team Champions, Pretty Deadly. But we do see Braun Breaker after this, during all this chaos going down. We do see Braun Breaker coming out, and Braun Breaker, obviously, as we saw later on in the night, for the most part of the show, Braun just going after Joey Gacy. Obviously, Joey Gacy and Heartland kidnapping his father like they did. So, obviously, Braun wants revenge. Braun wants payback. So, this, like I said, this lasted pretty much all night until towards the end of NXT. Tonight's NXT 2.0 was just built for spring break in 2 weeks. Yeah, so NXT will be doing a show entitled Spring Breaking in about 2 weeks, and one of the matches has already been announced for the show, which, like I said, we will talk about later on, of course, in this review. Rebellion is 4 days away. Yes, indeed. Rebellion is looking to be a really good show for Impact Wrestling. I already said it, Impact Wrestling does some pretty underrated stuff, so it should be good. Pretty Deadly only won the NXT Tag Team Champions to get the Creep Brothers more over. Yeah, I think so too. I think that too. The Creep Brothers are baby faces now. I think that's best. Creep Brothers, especially with their performance last week in the Gauntlet. It only makes sense for them to be baby faces rather than still be heels. And plus, Pretty Deadly's already established as a heel team, so might as well. Why did Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai reunite to break up again? Honestly, I think it was just a way to, I don't even know why they won the titles in the first place. Like, Raquel is now on the main roster now. She's Raquel Rodriguez. Dakota Kai was just competed for the NXT Women's title. Um, I honestly don't know why, but I guess it was to help to get Toxic Attraction over. I guess I don't know. Maybe just maybe. But we get our first match of the night. We get Tiffany Stratton versus Sarray. Obviously, these two women have been feuding with each other for quite some time now. But these two women, man, they have a solid match. It looks like Sarray, I guess she was gonna suplex Tiffany or something, but Tiffany like headbutts Sarray, and she hits the little Vader bomb. Yeah, the Vader bomb, the modified Vader bomb, and she gets the win. So Tiffany Stratton pins and defeats. Again, she beats Sarray, which I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of surprised when I found out. Like I legitimately thought that maybe, just maybe, Sarray was gonna win. Obviously after what after what Tiffany's been doing with her these past 2 weeks, it just seemed like that was going to happen. But maybe Sarray gets her win back. Maybe they have another match at Spring Breaking or something, and maybe she gets her win back there. I don't know. NXT should have kept Toxic Attraction first reign going, but I guess NXT 2.0 wanted to add more title reigns to Toxic Attraction. Well, if that's the case, I mean, I don't really know why you need to add more title reigns to Toxic Attraction. I think it would have made a little bit more sense if Toxic Attraction just continue being champions like Mandy, because Mandy still hasn't lost the title yet, and then she they all lose the titles. Roxy in NXT 2.0 now. Do you believe she'll actually play WWE games, or do you think WWE made that up for her to get over? No, I think that's a part of her story. I think it's a part of her story. One thing you got to give WWE, mainly particularly NXT, credit is that they really do a good job at the backstory of these wrestlers. Like we saw it with Cora Jade, we're seeing it with Roxy. We're seeing it with others. Like they do a pretty good job at that. So yeah, I absolutely believe that she actually did play WWE games, because Roxy has always talked about how she wanted to come to WWE. So we get now this came out of nowhere. I was not expecting this. I believe the breakup happened off screen or something. I don't remember happening on TV, but Grayson Waller fights Sangha, which was his former manager, his former like bodyguard, and it was just like, what? Because that caught me off guard, because again, I don't remember seeing it when it happened on TV, because they were like, Grayson Waller fired him, which was like, well, dang, that didn't really last long. I'm not gonna lie, I got some Veer vibes looking at this when I was thinking of Sangha, and also he had the Braun Strowman attire, because I was seeing everybody online was like calling him like Braun Strowman 2.0. But Grayson Waller actually beat Sangha in what was a pretty solid match, man. Sangha was over. Like when he was beating up Grayson Waller, everybody was just like, wanting him to beat Grayson Waller. So, but yeah, Grayson Waller gets the win there, so he gets the whole heat. We get a tag team match play, a Legado del Fantasma taking on the Grizzled Young Vets. Legado del Fantasma, they pick up the win here. And they winning with the double team to Drake in middle of the ring. Wild coverage for the pin to win. So Legado del Fantasma obviously, is like, listen up, like we defeated the Grizzled Young Vets, which I ain't gonna lie, I kind of wish the Grizzled Young Vets would have won, but it seems like Legado del Fantasma are set to being the very next challengers for the title, for the NXT title. It's sad Grizzled Young Veterans are jobbers now. Yeah, the Grizzled Young Veterans, it's like they haven't really, they haven't really, it's not that they haven't done anything, but it's just like they haven't really, like, they could have been like maybe champions by this point, or at least like title contenders, and it feels like that they haven't been feeling like title contenders at all, really. I did not know Grayson Waller and Saga broke up either. They should have did this on screen. Yeah, exactly, because like they said it happened backstage, so like it absolutely just came out of nowhere. Like he has them breaking up, and I'm just like, wait a minute, they broke up already? And that's the thing. I thought the breakup, like, don't you think that the breakup maybe was, I don't know, maybe rushed or something? I don't know. Legado del Fantasma, baby faces now. They could be crap. They could be. They could very well be baby faces. Pretty Deadly are doing better than the Grizzly Young Veterans right now, which should be the other way around. Well, Pretty Deadly, I mean, they're a very, very talented tag team. I mean, there's a reason why they are the current NXT tag team champions. Like I don't really check out NXT UK, but you know, hearing down there, you know, I heard that they've been doing some pretty good stuff down there. Now, uh, we get a little backstage segment with Wes Lee, and this is really interesting because he said it's been a few chaotic weeks since Stand and Deliver, rough to say the least. But he's been doubting himself, and a big part of him feels lost. And Ixon Quinn interrupts him and says the real problem is that Lee doesn't run it straight. Lee says Quinn sounds mad cool saying that, but no one knows what that even means. And then Lee says that this isn't the right time for Quinn to be giving him a lecture. So Quinn agrees and says he needs to teach Lee a lesson. And well, this leads to a match later on tonight. So obviously, they are going with Wes Lee now as a singles competitor, and hopefully Wes Lee, because he's a very talented wrestler, you know, hopefully he does some great stuff. You know, on the roster, I know his buddy ain't there, Trevor Lee, but I mean Nash Carter. I'm sorry, Nash Carter, his boy Nash Carter. I hope, despite all that, I really hope Wes Lee is able to do some good stuff. Like I don't want Wes Lee to like just be made into a jobber now on the NXT now that his tag team partner is gone. Grayson Waller and Saga broke up just too soon. They just formed a tag team. Yeah, it's like they've been together for like a few months now. Like they didn't really, you know. I feel sorry for Wes Lee. He is a jobber now. Unless he finds a new tag team partner, which will be hard because his best friend's tag team partner was Nash Carter. Well, he could pick up with that. He could like become tag team partners with that Draco Anthony guy or something. I don't know. Did you just say Trevor Lee? That was Cameron Grimes' name in Impact Wrestling. LOL. Yeah, that was And fun fact for those who don't know, that was Cameron Grimes' Impact Wrestling name. Speaking of Cameron Grimes, we get Santos Escobar and Carmelo Hayes. Now, this was an incredible match. This was without a shadow of a doubt the match of the night. This was just awesome. Like Carmelo Hayes, man, I'm telling you, man, he is just awesome at what he does, man. Santos Escobar is great as well. And just like this was just such a freaking dope match. I felt like the right guy did go over here. Obviously, Carmelo Hayes getting the win here. But we see after the match, man, obviously the mystery men roll Escobar back in the ring. So God knows who those guys were. You know, we were getting a lot of like mystery guys showing up to NXT these past few weeks. But like I said, we have Solo Sikoa come out and he's ready to become an NXT North American champion again. So now, and like I said, now it was revealed that the match is going to be a triple threat match. Carmelo Hayes, Solo Sikoa, and Cameron Grimes for the NXT North American title. This is going to be a really great match for the title. I think it's going to just do some good stuff. And this should be a really great triple threat match. All right, so after that, we got Natalya making her NXT 2.0 return / debut in the ring, taking on Tatum Paxley. Paxley tries, man. She tries her best to beat up Natalya, but it's not going to work because in the end, Natalya puts her in that sharpshooter. Tatum taps out, and Natalya gets the win. So after that, man, we get Wes Lee versus Exxon Quinn, and poor Wes Lee. I mean, this match didn't really last that long. Wes Lee kind of gets beaten here to pulp by Quinn here, and Quinn stands over Wes Lee as Quinn gets the win. So Yeah, hopefully, like I said before, hopefully they don't make Wesley into this like jobber now, because like I really feel like Wesley could be a good solid mid card champion because he's still talented. I mean, yes, is MSK over? Absolutely, but that doesn't mean Wesley isn't that bad of a tag team wrestler. As a matter of fact, I'd probably say he was one of the better half of the two, if I'm being honest. We see Natalia backstage. She talks about Cora Jade and everything. And we see Nikia Lyons coming out, man. Nikia Lyons walks up and says, "You know what? I heard you was putting the whole locker room on notice last week. But next week, after I'm done with Last Legend, I'm coming for you, Natalia." Like, uh, Nikia Lyons, man, she was stepping all over up to Natalia. And Natalia was like, "Yeah, I'm going to put you in that sharpshooter and you know what to do." And then, Leon's is like, "Hey, don't worry, honey. Like, I'm flexible, so you don't even have to worry about that." Um, and Wade Barrett said it at best, man. Twitter is going to freaking explode next week. Well, in 2 weeks when we see that match. So definitely Natalia and Nikia Lyons. That's gonna be oh my lord, that's gonna break the internet. But we do see the in-ring return. I mean, the in-ring debut of Roxanne Perez, aka the former Ring of Honor Women's World Champion Roxy. And obviously, our first match here was supposed to be last week, but Toxic Attraction came up to her backstage and was like, "You know what? Screw it. How about you fight us tonight?" And so JC Jane steps up to the plate, one half of the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. And we see towards the end of the match, when it seems that, JC Jane's going to, get something here, uh, Wendy Koo appears on the big screen, and she's in the Toxic Lounge, and she's been doing some remodeling. Because of this distraction, Perez was able to hit the Destroyer for the win, and in her debut match, she pulls off in what they call it the upset. Roxanne Perez wins, and what was a pretty solid match, I thought it was, but a really good debut for Roxanne Perez. I think she's going to do some great stuff here in NXT 2.0. Let me answer some of these comments here. Joey Gacy's going crazy every week. At first, he was a good person. Now he's turning into a delusional man. Yeah, you could tell, man. He's breaking by the week. Cameron Grimes will retain the NXT North American Championship, and Solo Sikoa will take the pin to protect Carmelo Hayes. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that happening. With that scenario. Exxon Quinn is maybe a heel now. Yeah, it's at this point, especially like with the way he was handling Draco Anthony too. Like it seems that Quinn is like, it seems like the heel's settling in, if not already a heel. Creed brothers are over people. People were chanting Creed when Pretty Deadly was out there. Creed brothers, the Creed Diamond. I'll even argue and say Diamond Mine as a whole is over. The main event was predictable because Pretty Deadly are about to be in a championship program with the Creed brothers. Yeah, like you knew was going to win that. And I think it should be Natalya versus Cora Jade at Spring Breaking. Well, it very well could be. Exxon Quinn may be the one to join Joey Gacy's group. If Draco Anthony and Joey Gacy were still feuding, I could have seen that happening. But right now, I think Quinn is a one-man show right now, so I don't see that happening. All right, so we get the main event. We get the NXT Tag Team Championships. Duke Hudson and Dexter Lumis. They taking on Pretty Deadly. They tried, but this is a pretty solid match. Pretty solid first title defense for Pretty Deadly. Obviously, they tried. Loomis and Duke tried, but miscommunication, and I think that was one of the main reasons why they just couldn't get the win here tonight. So Pretty Deadly retains the title, and we see the NXT champion Braun Breaker. He's been looking for Joey Gacy all night, so Braun marches up right up to the balcony. Gacy tells him to be all easy. All you had to do if you wanted the ring back was axe, and so Gacy says he'll return the ring under one condition. If he gets an NXT title shot at NXT Spring Breaking in 2 weeks. So it's official. Braun Breaker and Joey Gacy at NXT Spring Breaking. And, of course, he tells Braun, now all you need to do now is take a leap of faith. And he shoves Braun off the balcony like it's the dang Lion King. And Gacy's just smiling. So just crazy. crazy ending to NXT. It just goes to show you that how crazy, uh, not Braun Breaker, but Joey Gacy is. Braun Breaker's out for blood, y'all. He is out for blood. Uh, the reason why I just said the Creed brothers is because the whole Diamond Mine haven't been together in a while now. Robert Strong hasn't been with the Creed brothers in a while. Yeah, Robert Strong has actually been on NXT UK, actually. For those who don't know. I don't really follow NXT UK that much, but like, even I know that, he's in NXT UK, by clips and stuff like that. If you got an invitation, would you hang out in the Toxic Lounge? I wouldn't. It's too toxic for me. Oh yeah, I'll hang out with Toxic Attraction. I mean, I'm still a good guy, but I'd hang out with those ladies. I mean, I know they're not good for me, but hey, I'd do it. I'd do it. Braun Breaker really did not get hurt. The camera angle changed when he was falling. Yeah, but you know how wrestling is nowadays. Wrestling, they like to make you think it's real, and all that stuff. It's just, the slowly entertainment part. I know Robert Strong was in NXT UK. I watched YouTube clips of NXT UK. Yeah. So solid show. Solid show. Um Solid show tonight from NXT. And yeah. Yep. So I want to share with you guys I got about maybe that is right, wrestling is scripted, but there's still pain in wrestling. Yes, there is. I want to share with you guys some few news items before we close it out tonight. Let me answer this comment here. Why do people always say wrestling is fake? Well, movies are fake and no one talks about it. I honestly, it's like, I guess, like it's a dumb excuse to, why I don't watch pro wrestling. It's ridiculous. Like, people get hurt in pro wrestling. It's ridiculous. But I got about a good maybe 3 new items I want to share with you guys. First things first, let's talk about, because I forgot to talk about this one. Kushida. Kushida. So last night, Fightful confirmed. I think, what time did they confirm this? Like at 9:54. So almost, yeah, 9:54. So but Fightful confirmed that Kushida has left the WWE, and at this point, it's very well known. This is Dave Meltzer was saying about the Kushida leaving. He is done. His contract expired. It was not a secret that he was going to stay. I know in WWE that the belief is that he starts with New Japan in June. So that's what they believe, and it's probably the case. So Kushida is no longer with the WWE, and what more can you say? Kushida, I felt like was never gonna be that big star anyway in WWE, let alone NXT. I felt like that Kushida has always had that ceiling. Like, how wrestlers, they always talk about how they want to shatter and break through that glass ceiling. Well, I feel like with Kushida, he's just one of those wrestlers who was just never going to be able to break that glass ceiling. Was never going to be able to break down that barrier. I'm not saying Kushida's a bad wrestler, because he's a really good wrestler. Like, obviously, like, one of my favorite Kushida matches in WWE was the Johnny Gargano match. Him and Kyle O'Reilly actually had a good battle, Best of the Super Juniors finals back in 2015. But that's the thing. I think Kushida's going back to New Japan. Everybody is saying, he's going to AEW, which I'm like, guys, we got to stop this whole insert wrestler goes to AEW. Like, not every wrestler can go to AEW. I think Kushida needs to go back to Japan. And he needs to maybe, I don't know, he'll probably reform the Time Splitters. Kushida left because of the Jobber Tag Team, Jacket Time. Maybe, who knows? Maybe, like I said, Kushida was probably not happy with his position and was like leaving. Finn Balor leaving WWE pretty soon after his booking go to AEW. So let's address Finn for a minute, because I'm seeing a lot of people talk about how Finn Balor is misused, and you guys got to think, man. Finn Balor is like, how old is Finn? Like 40 something years old. He don't really got that many years left in wrestling. I think Finn is kind of on his last legs here in a few years. I think Finn's gonna be done in a few years, and it just is what it is. You got to put over that young talent. You got to put over those new stars. And last night, a star was definitely is being created with Theory. Now, if Finn Balor, say he was to get released, I think I don't see Finn Balor like leaving WWE. Like, the only way I see Balor leaving is if he gets released. Then he'll probably be like Kushida. He'll probably go back to New Japan and reform back with the club. I don't see him going to AEW as much as a lot of people want him to go to AEW. And exactly, Finn could either go back to New Japan. Finn should not be losing non-title matches as champion. I get he is old, but he should have one last good title run. Yeah, I agree. His U.S. title run should have been booked a little bit better. I feel like, you know, and plus it didn't help the fact that Theory beat him already like 80 times by this point. So, you know, at least Kushida was an NXT Cruiserweight champion. He may still be booked well if this was NXT Black and Gold brand. He is a jobber in NXT 2.0. Well, even in Black and Gold brand, he wasn't that like, he wasn't that, he didn't get that much shine. Like, he got some shine, but he didn't get like a lot of big time shine. You know what I mean? Like someone like a Shinsuke Nakamura, for example. Finn Balor never had a good title reign on the main roster. I bet you if he never got injured when he won that Universal title, I bet you he would have had a good run. But crap happens. So Kushida, that was, like I said, that was the big headline. And Alexa Bliss also was in the news because Alexa Bliss, it seems that Alexa has been vocally, I'm trying to find, here we go. So yeah, Alexa Bliss, she's kind of been vocal about her direction in the company. I'm trying to find the tweet. I know Fightful has something to do with it, so I got to go back and look at all Sean Ross Sapp's tweets now, even though I could care less about him. But let's see here. Yeah, Kushida beat Velveteen Dream and challenged for the NXT North American Championship. Yes, he did. Velveteen Dream, man. Velveteen Dream's another one. Velveteen Dream is another one. Also, yeah, so WWE is also interested in bringing back FTR. That's not going to happen, man. FTR, I don't see them coming back with the company. Don't get me wrong, FTR could have some pretty dope matches if they were to come back, but like, if they come back, like, especially after last time, like, FTR and the Usos, that could have been a really dope feud. But instead, what you have the Usos playing pranks on FTR. All right, so I'm trying to find the tweet here. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Sean Ross Sapp, but he's the one who tweeted it out, so, But, anyways, long story short, Alexa Bliss should go back to being the goddess. Yeah, that'll probably be best for her. You never know. No one thought Cody Rhodes would come back to WWE, and FTR could do the same. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Well, that was NXT tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here, but pretty like I said, pretty solid show, pretty solid show. So I hope you guys enjoyed my NXT review. This has been the Kid, TC Wrestling. Tomorrow I'll be back for AEW Dynamite. Should be a really good show, but this has been the Kid, DC Wrestling, and so